Okay, in this part, I want to speak about, I want to start just explaining more about the impact of AI and how we should look at it. So bear with me. I'm going to share my slides in a second. Just hold on. Okay, here we go. Okay, wonderful. So when we are talking about what are going to be the impact of AI on the world, I think, hold on. We're talking about, of course, about efficiency. What does it mean, efficiency? Meaning doing more thing in the same amount of time. This is one option. Another option, of course, is doing the same amount of things, but with less investment in terms of money, of human work, time which is invested, and so forth. Scalability. What does it mean? It means that you can do things in a larger scale very quickly. Just think about the difference between a written book and instead of a digital book. So once you have to print the book and you have to deliver it to the shops, and then from there people are coming and they're buying or not buying, and so once you're converting into digital, and then on top of it using AI, meaning the scalability is going to be extremely quick. Just look at we talked before in the first lecture about the time that it took Sam Altman, OpenAI, with the ChatGPT to arrive to 1 million users, which was about 5 days. It was never, it never happened before that in history. So this gives us the idea how quick things can spread. So scalability, which is going to be extremely, I would say, differentiator in the business world, because when you want to scale quickly, if you want to arrive to a larger consumer base and create yourself a sustainable, I would say, income stream. So this is things that we should take into consideration. Monitoring what's going to happen anywhere in the world. So as one of my mentor, Peter Diamandis, always saying, is that we are going to get to a situation that you can know whatever you want to know about what's happening with your competitors' backyard. But the question, of course, is going to be, what are you going to do with it? So there is going to be no question that won't be able to answer. Okay, if you want to know how many people are going right now in all the United States with shirt with this kind of shade of blue, you can find the answer extremely quickly. So the monitoring, I think, is going to be something that will allow us to ask better questions, which I think this is the fundamental of strategic thinking. And of course, innovation. So once you have all of this, you can do all the kind of experiments, but without, again, with very short time frame, within very short time frame, and with hardly any expenses at all. I think if we're talking about Amazon, which are doing 1,000 or sometimes million kind of experiments every day, and it costs them nearly nothing, because if you recall, we talked about it, that the price of the machine learning and all of the training is going to drop to nearly zero soon. So definitely Amazon is already taking advantage of this in creating their innovation culture. So I think we should all look at it and try to see what we can learn from this. Now, so what is, when we are talking about imagination, and one is going to be so crucial at this point, I think, is that we already know that we are creating anything that is possible, anything that is repetitive, boring, time-consuming, that people can definitely do, and very well. So this is already something that we are using AI, at least on, let's say, on the white-collar work side, okay? Kind of categories of working which involve the thinking, but not really, not deep thinking, and, not creativity. So this is something definitely that we can do. We can't do that, I must say, on the physical world, not yet. We don't see enough autonomous cars, of course, and we don't see enough robots around us, but this is only a question of time. This is also going to happen, and I believe it's going to be much more rapidly than people think. And what is being built right now is everything that is complex, everything that is complicated. Of course, there is a huge difference between complex and complicated. Complicated is always much harder, and especially when we're talking about network and complicated relationship and interrelationship and hidden and non and seen impacts and so forth. But people can do it yet partly and not so well, and we need still a lot of, I would say, resources which are invested, but it can be done partly. So, but this is already being built right now. Let's talk about the fact that right now we are assisting the radiologists in finding spots or any kind of signs of potential cancer in our lungs and so forth. So we can do it, but the machine is doing it, of course, much better. When we are talking about autonomous cars, yes, we are killing today 1.3 million people a year. We are very bad drivers, even though we tend to think that we are marvelous drivers, we are definitely not. So I think that once we do that, and we're going to see autonomous cars, and I'm not even talking about flying autonomous cars, only on the road from A to Z. So I think we are going to, these numbers are going to fall like between 80 to 90%. So think about the amount of suffering that is going to be eliminated just by the fact that we won't be driving our cars. So I think this is important. And what will be built is beyond our imagination. And I think this is the time that we should go and study from children, from indigenous people, that they don't have the barriers that our Western culture is putting on our way of thinking and assessing things. I think this can be very good sources for us to go back in time, in a sense, and liberate ourselves from the constraint of the culture that we are living in, which is a beautiful one, but still has disadvantages and the downside. And this is, of course, I would say the damage to our imagination is definitely one of them. So I think, and these are things that we can't do right now. So think about the possibility of talking with someone in the early 1990s and telling 1920 and telling him, yeah, we're going to have a cell phone, and we're going to go around, and you're going to speak from one side of the globe to the other one without paying even 1 cent. Well, you probably would have seen us, as either a ridiculous genius or a really stupid person, but it doesn't matter. No one would have taken you seriously. So I think this is the point. This is the point about imagination, that we don't take the things that people with a large amount of imagination, we don't take them too seriously, because we like to think of ourselves as extremely rational. So, the idea that I would say imagination can be very rational, but based on a different kind of rationality, it's something that we don't take it in consideration very often. So I think this is going to be very, very interesting. Of course, I'm looking forward for that. I would like to think that anything I know about this world is going to be completely wrong in 10 years. And I hope that you all, join me in this hope that we're going to find out so many things. We're going to, experience and explore. And we are going to create beautiful things that are right now beyond our imagination. So this is why when I'm thinking about AI, I don't like to think about it anymore as a disruptive technology, but I prefer to speak about it as enabling technology, because once anything gives us more opportunities, more possibilities, I think it's an enabling tool, and AI is definitely going to be one of them. So I want to show now the work of ARC. I admire ARC Invest. I keep talking about them, and of course about Kathy Wood, which is the woman, the beautiful woman who created this company and is running this company. So you see, they're thinking about it in economical terms. And as this is a slide from the last. It was I can't believe it was. Nearly 9 months ago, when they published their annual report, which is called Big Ideas. So this is part of the Big Ideas to 2023. And they're talking about I would say, the underestimated market and the underestimated impact of the disruptive or enabling technology on us, on the global economy. So if you're looking about that, you see they're saying right now all of these are going right now are estimated at about $94 trillion. They are talking about a much larger one. And of course, if you look at AI, well, they think that the impact of AI is definitely not correctly assessed today. While AI is now assessed at $10 trillion, they are thinking it's going to be 108 in 7 years. Can you believe? So, this is why there is such a huge race between China and the United States. Who is going to take the lead in this competition? I hope, of course, that it's going to be United States and the Western world and not China because of their, malicious, unfortunately, their malicious, desires and aspirations. So there we go. But this is not the most interesting thing in this report regarding AI that I want to show you. I think this is it. Because what they are really saying is that the enabling technology that will empower all the other platforms, technological platforms, innovation platforms, and all the other, meaning all the other disruptive technology is AI. So you see the neural network, you look down and you see at the bottom, you can see it's 4.3. This is going to be the impact. So you see that hidden and non-hidden connection between the different technology, because this is why we're calling now about, this is going to be the age of the conversion. Okay, because in the end, even one of the people I heard said, we in 10 years, we won't be talking about different technology. We're going to see that technology. It's going to be one gestalt, something that is really, we relate to it as an interplay between different forces, but as an entity, one entity and not different entities. I think this is very interesting. And then this leads us to this, okay? So because once you have this conversion, so we are going to have the first wave of innovation, then the second, and then the third, and beyond and beyond and beyond. So the S-curve right now, as they say, and I totally accept it and embrace it, is that AI is going to be the enabling force for these waves. So I think this is extremely interesting. And this leads us, of course, to, what the CEO of Google said, which is artificial intelligence could have more profound implication for humanity than electricity or fire. I think we should pause for a second and take it in. It's something that it's worth elaborating or thinking about or reflecting and, pounding on, so ponder on. So I think that's it. I think it's a worthwhile. So, and if we go back to the history and we're talking about what Mark and Visson said, the marvelous person who created for us the mosaic, which is, of course, was the basic platform on which we could have taken ARPANET and created the internet for us, the citizen, and not only for the army, the technological arms of the army military force and the American army, and of course not beyond the this very small group of academics that was using it. So he said at that time, software is eating the world. He said it twice in two different articles, which were very, very interesting. And then he said, well, because software is going to eat all sectors, well, every company is going to become a software company. We can't think today about any company that is not being built on software. There is no question about that. He said it once in 2000 and then 2011, different articles, but both of them are very, I think, powerful and insightful, and it's worth reading them. And then, of course, the CEO of NVIDIA said, well, yeah, but software is eating the world, but AI is eating software. And we see right now that the NVIDIA is really I would say the moving force, the bootstrap of AI right now, at least with a chip, but you never know. We can see again and again that the king of the hill is always being challenged, but new challenges were getting into the marketplace. And then this is one of my mentors, Peter Diamandis. Well, he's saying in the future there are going to be only kind of he says there are going to be only two kinds of companies, one which are based on AI and one which cease to exist. because he says that AI is not a feature, it's a platform. Okay? And this is crucial, meaning it's not the sparkling that you put on the cake, but it's the cake itself. It's the base of the cake. You can't create the cake if you don't have the AI as your basics. I think this is very, very interesting. So if you haven't yet started your journey as a CEO or as a strategic consultant, or I don't know, any kind of division that you're running right now, any kind of organization, I think please do it right now, because you want your company to strive. You don't want it to cease to exist, right? So I think this is the best time to start doing it if you haven't done it already. And then, you know, there's so many great opportunities right now, and you don't have to create your own AI, you know, a team. You can hire people from all over the world, you know, thanks to the corona. So, you know, so working from everywhere on anything is possible these days. And we got used to creating relationship even over the Zoom, with all its complication, of course. It's quite complicated, but it's possible. So I think you can do that and find solutions which are definitely in line with your aspirations and, of course, with your capabilities and your resources. So I think this is the right time to do that. And in a larger, if we take the deeper approach and the long-term, I would say, approach, so I think we are going to see a new demographic. Okay, they're going to be humans, they're going to be AI, which are going to be, you know, in the cloud or in the fog or wherever we're going to create, you know, next. But also we're going to give them a body, and these are going to be the robots. So yes, so we are going to have as well the robots which are going to be with us. We are going to live with them. So think about it. So in a sense, I would say that there are two new nations that are being built right now: the AI tribe or nation and the robots. So here we go. So thank you.